welcome to math test number 49A, solve and graph compound inequalities. We're going to expand on what we did yesterday. So we got this new thing called interval notation. A parentheses means it's not included or it's open, so you're talking about less than or greater than. And a bracket does mean it's included or closed in the solution, less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. So we would include something like this. Normally we'd say this is x is greater than 1, right? Well, another way to write that is the interval notation of starting at 1 but not including 1 all the way to infinity. Normally we would write this as x is less than or equal to 5, but the interval notation would be all the way to negative infinity, but not including, you never include infinity because you never know where it ends, and then stopping at 5 with a bracket. Right, so that's what interval notation looks like. So on this one, the inequality is x is less than 2. Right? The interval notation is, you can start at the right side if you want. We don't include 2, and we go all the way to negative infinity, sideways 8. And again, remember, you don't include infinity because you never know where it stops. The next one, the interval notation would be you start but do not include negative 4. Sorry, the inequality, my bad, would be x is greater than negative 4. So you start but do not include negative 4, and you go all the way to positive infinity, but again, do not include. Right? So you got the next couple. Yesterday, I wanted to make a point of making sure you guys understood how to graph the intersection of two compound inequalities. So if we have x greater than 0, that's a closed circle on top of 0 all the way to infinity. If we have x is less than or equal to 4, that's a closed circle at 4 all the way to negative infinity. And the intersection is simply what they have in common. So this space right here, right? And so that's how you would graph the intersection of saying closed circle at 0, closed circle at 4, and everything in between. So your solution as an inequality is 0 is less than or equal to, because you're including 0, x, which is less than or equal to, because you're including 4, 4. The interval notation here would be you would include 0, and then you would include 4. So that's why I have the brackets instead of the parentheses, because I'm including those numbers in the solution. All right? You are going to graph the intersection, write the inequality, and write the solution. Remember, always start with the smaller number first. All right, now we got a new type of compound inequality here. This looks ugly because there's fractions, but have no fear, you can solve it. So your first inequality happens right here, right? So it's 15 less than or equal to 20 plus 11 plus k over 3. And then your other inequality starts over there. So it's 20 plus 11 plus k over 3 is less than or equal to 19. So you have two inequalities here. Now, first, let's combine like terms up in the top, right? We got 20 and 11 in both. So really that's 15 less than or equal to 31 plus k over 3. And over here we have 31 plus k over 3 less than or equal to 19. Now I just have a fraction left, right? Now I have some addition, but to get rid of that fraction, multiply both sides by 3. All right, that's 45 is less than or equal to 31 plus k. And again, multiply both sides by 3 to get rid of that fraction, right? Because if I have something divided by 3, the opposite of that is multiplication. So 31 plus k is less than or equal to 19 times 3, 57. And notice I haven't flipped any of my inequality signs because I haven't multiplied or divided by a negative. And now I have my friend, the cousin of a two-step equation, or I guess the little brother of a two-step equation, a one-step equation, right? I just add negative 31 to both sides. Again, not flipping my sign because I haven't multiplied or divided by a negative. So 14 is less than or equal to k. And I do the same thing over here. I add negative 31 to both sides. And I got k is less than or equal to 26. All right, so it might be helpful to go by 2's here. So I want everything less than 14 and everything less than 26. Nope, wrong. because I read this incorrectly. This is backwards, so I really want, if I read it backwards, k is greater than or equal to 14. All right, so I want everything greater than 14 and everything less than or equal to 26. So if I go ahead and label out my number line, I just picked a number that was like in between 14 and 26. So I picked 20 and I did it by twos. So it is included here at 14 and is included here at 26. And then I'm going to connect these two here. So my interval notation would look something like this. 14, comma, with a bracket, 26, bracket. Okay, you're going to get the next one.